Today on CityCast Austin, we've got a foodie in the house. It's getting to be fall, and to prepare for cozy season, we're talking with Amanda from Austin Food Adventures about the best comfort food that Austin has to offer. She's partial to Asian food and has great thoughts on belly warming soups, savory pies, and fancy ice cream infused with seasonal flavors. So get ready because you're going to want to take notes. CityCast Austin is brought to you by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tecovas. It's Tuesday, September 24th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here today with local food blogger Amanda from Austin Food Adventures, and we are going to be talking about fall food. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Nikki. Thanks for having me on.
So at some point, the weather is bound to get cooler and fall is going to really be in the air here in Austin. And for a lot of us, that means it's time to dig into some cozier treats finally, because we couldn't handle it during the summer and the heat. So what is on your list of cozy dishes in Austin to try this fall?
So, first one on my list is always going to be pho. And pho is perfect for this time of the year, especially because it's so hot and we don't want to eat super hot foods whenever it's still 100 degrees. But coming into the cooler temps, my favorite pho spot is this place called Tan Mai. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, I love pho.
Yes, then you have to check this place out because Tan Mai has been around for, I believe, maybe even before I was born or around when I was born, but 20 plus years. It's a mom and pop in Austin, and they're serving really authentic, delicious pho.
Where is it?
It's kind of around, the Lamar and I believe Runberg area.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of off the side, but when I first went years ago as a high schooler, it was completely empty. Only the locals knew about it. But now sometimes it has even an hour wait to sit down because it's so popular.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But you know what? I love pho, so I might consider the line if you're telling me it's that good.
I highly recommend it. So that's probably one of my top picks. I always get their regular pho. Sometimes if I'm super hungry, I'll get the large pho, and I always get a custom one with meatballs and brisket.
Oh my God, you're making me so hungry already.
So that one's my first pick on the list. My second pick, I would recommend trying this place called Special Noodle. They just opened up kind of recently, this past year. They're originally a chain from, I believe, the Bay Area, but each location is slightly different. And the location in Austin is pumping out things like dumplings, noodles, and different Chinese dishes.
Okay, so what side of town is that on?
So this one's also around North area, kind of going towards Lakeline.
Oh, okay.
But this spot's pretty popular too. It usually has about a 30-ish minute wait, and it's pretty authentic whenever the servers also speak Chinese to you.
Oh, see, yeah. And the other thing too is that, I make a lot of jokes about not wanting to wait, but I have to say, if the food is good, I'm gonna wait for it. And I'm noodles, pho. You're speaking my language right now.
Mm-hmm. So that one, I highly recommend them. The dish I like to order there is their special beef noodle soup. They actually bring it in this hot stone pot, and they assemble it tableside, kind of like tableside guac, but with noodle soup.
Oh my God.
And it's literally one of the best things I've had in Austin.
Oh my God, I love that. I love it.
And then the next spot after that, so I don't know if a lot of people have tried 1618. Have you heard of that spot?
Now, I love 1618. Yes.
Yes, so that one's a great option if you're more south because they're located in the Riverside area. But not only that, but they consistently do most of their dishes really well. One of my favorite things there is actually, surprisingly, their soup dumplings.
Oh, I like 1618 because they also have, you can share stuff. So you can get a lot of little things and just bring a couple of people and you can share so everybody can get a taste of everything. And I have not had one bad thing there. And at this point, I've been I don't know, 5 or 6 times and I still have not had a bad thing.
100%. It's basically family style, which is kind of how these Asian style dishes work, is just sharing as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm down for it. And plus it feels it's easy to get to. There's parking, right? You know what I mean? Like all of the things that I kind of like and dig about a restaurant, like easy to get to, check. Easy parking, check.
Mm-hmm. And that one's nice because you can make reservations, but what makes their soup dumplings really good is surprisingly, after I went to Taiwan more recently in February, I found that the broth that you can get in the soup dumplings at 1618 were actually pretty authentic to what I had in Asia. So I was pretty happy about that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, 1618, we see you. Okay, so what's next on your list?
So next on my list is this place called Anyang Korean Barbecue. It opened in the Burnett Road area. I'm not sure if you heard of this spot, but it's a Korean restaurant and it's kind of been really popular on the internet this past season.
Real? No, see, I haven't heard of this one. This is completely new too.
So they do Korean food and they served a specific soup called sundabu, which is like a soft tofu stew. And what's cool is that you can adjust your spicy level. You can choose options with seafood or pork, or even do like ramen noodles, whatever you prefer. And then they bring it out on a scale of like 0 to 10.
So this is really perfect for me because I do not like spicy food. I can't handle it. I'm a really I'm like a little baby when it comes to spice. So I love that. Do you have a favorite dish there?
So obviously you want to get the sundabu, but surprisingly, like not so fallish, but really good is their galbi. They have one of the best galbis in Austin, and that's like Korean beef short ribs if you never tried them before.
And it's galbi?
Yeah, it goes by galbi in like Korean words, but in Hawaiian words, because they have their own version, they call it more like galbi with like a K.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
That is definitely a must this season. And they also give you this raw egg that you break into your soup right before you eat it. It makes the
Mm.
soup extra jiggly and thick. It's really good.
Oh my God, that sounds so good. Oh my God.
Now I have some options for you that are not all Asian. Like that's kind of my thing is I love Asian food, but I definitely have some other options. So the next one is probably the chicken pot pie. So this one isn't a restaurant. This is actually a home baker, and her name is Pie in the Sky Baking Company, and you can find her on Instagram. She makes the best chicken pot pie I've ever had in my life.
Are you serious? Okay, okay. So wait a minute. Will she come to your house and make it, or?
No, so how it works is she just started up this season, but she has this like application called Hot Plate. And if you follow her on Instagram, she does pie drops on there where you can go and pre order her pies and then pick them up around locations in Austin.
What?
Yes.
That's really clever. That's really
Yeah.
clever.
Uh-huh. It's actually really common and a lot of people don't know that there's this whole scene of like home bakers that are untouched in Austin and they're some of the best cooks honestly and for her her pot pie is legit. And when I say it's good, the chicken pieces she uses are incredibly tender and cooked perfectly. And she makes the pie crust from scratch and it's
Oh my
super like buttery, crusty. It's like the perfect ratio of like flaky.
So just pot pie is one of my favorite comfort foods. When I'm not having a good day, I don't care how hot it is outside. I don't care if it's 100 degrees. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having a good day or I just need a little just like something to remind me of home or remind me of like southern cooking, I will get a pot pie. Period. It is like a serious comfort food for me.
I think it's a comfort food for everyone, especially if you grew up in the South like I did or maybe you did, but
Yeah.
it's just something you crave and most people aren't like making a gourmet version, they're just buying the frozen kind or they're making it at home.
Yeah.
But she's really unique because she actually makes four different types of pot pies too.
Well, okay. What?
Yeah.
Okay, which one have you had? Have you had all of them?
I've had all of them. She does a curry one, a chicken one, a mushroom one, and a Vietnamese beef one. That's all of them very excellent, but you can't go wrong with the original. But if you follow her on her Instagram, which is just Pie in the Sky Baking Company, you can get her Popeyes or reserve them, and they sell out really fast. So you have to be quick.
Okay, so now that's what I'm gonna have to do as soon as we get As soon
Okay.
as we're done, I'm going to order myself a pie because it has been a week. I need a pie.
Yeah. So then the next spot I have for us is this restaurant called Mum Foods. And I believe they were recently nominated for a James Beard. They do
Oh.
barbecue, but they also do the most amazing matzo ball soup. I'm not sure if you've ever had matzo ball soup.
So our newsletter editor, Kelsey, and our executive producer, Eva Ruth, are both like, they've told me about matzo ball soup. I have still never had it.
Oh, you gotta try theirs.
It's been on my list.
Theirs is so excellent. I believe they use, I don't know if anything's changed since I last went, but they use like heritage bred chickens, and they cook them until they're tender, and then kind of tear apart the chicken meat so it's like in the soup.
Oh my God.
And they put like these roasted veggies in there that are really good. But then on top of it, they put the matzo balls, which is kind of like, the best way to describe them is they're like kind of like, have you ever had chicken and dumplings, like those flour dumplings?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's similar to that, but it's more of a clear broth and it's just the actual ball. But you kind of eat the ball in little pieces with the soup, and it adds that kind of like that carb to the soup. And it's really good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, 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 yes.
But that one's excellent. One time I got sick and I ordered that dish and I ate it and I felt way better in like 10 seconds.
Love it.
And for the longest time, they were just under the radar. But I think a lot of people are kind of putting love out there. They're one of those restaurants that opened brick and mortar before they closed. They didn't survive during the pandemic, and then they reopened.
Oh my God. I love a comeback.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And now they have a James Beard nomination.
Mm-hmm. They might have one. I just haven't checked the most updated list, but they are pretty popular in town now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So our next dish I recommend is something called, or a spot called Julie's Noodles. Very popular. Have you heard of them?
Love Julie. Yes.
Yes. Julie's Noodle is very beloved. You know, they started as a little food truck in UT campus, and then they expanded to the restaurant like years ago.
Julie's, in my opinion, is hands down some of the best food in the city, period. And that's another one. Never had a bad dish. Never, like everybody that I know that has had food there loves it.
100%. And it's like, it's because it's authentic, it's affordable, and it's just good food.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing, or one of the things outside of their dumplings, in my opinion, I think their pork rib stew with like the hand pulled noodles is one of their best dishes.
Ooh.
It's like a clear broth, but it really accentuates like you just focusing on the flavor and texture of those like hand pulled noodles and not really so much the broth, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. That one's super duper excellent, and I highly recommend it to a lot of people. Some Asians are a little picky about their noodle dishes, but usually most people who know that they make some good food.
You have to get the nod. Hey y'all, it's Nikki. I have to tell you about Tecovas boots. I finally have a pair, and I don't know if y'all know this, but they're handmade, high quality, stylish, and they were comfortable right out of the box. Now, I know we buy everything online these days, but trust me, go get fitted for some boots at Tecovas, and they will also personalize them with leather stamping. So grab a friend and head on over to the Tecovas flagship on South Congress or their store at the Domain. Plus, good news, Tecovas is opening a brand new store for your Western wear needs just north of Austin on Main Street in Georgetown. So swing by for their grand opening party September 27th through the 29th for live music and freebies for the first 50 of y'all that get there. With 3 locations in town, you have no excuses. So that's tecovas.com, TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all.
So the next spot I recommend is, this one was another James Beard nomination, and honestly has been talked about so much, has lines out the door. It's the spot called Ramen del Barrio. So fun fact about this restaurant is it was started by a young 20-something named Chris, and he was actually making ramen out of his parents' garage.
What?
This wasn't even a business. It was just him posting hey, this Saturday, 6 seats, who wants to come eat?
What?
Yeah, and you would just DM him and he wouldn't even like charge you. He would just tell you, hey, if you want, the food costs $10 if you want to pay me $10 or Venmo me $10. Like that's how it was working.
That's how it started? Are you serious?
Yeah, so what happened was he was doing it from his parents' garage, and saw him on like another chef's Instagram account, so I went and followed him, and I showed up to one of his like parents' garage pop-ups. I drove all the way out to his parents' garage in South Austin, and I tried it, and I believe the first thing he served me was pozole ramen.
Oh, I love pozole. Oh my God.
I know. And what was so cool about it though was he was kind of like, oh, this isn't a business. This is just me having fun. And the moment I posted that reel about him, he grew from I think he probably had like only like 100 followers to like 5,000.
Oh my God. Best laid plans.
He told me that he kept getting DMs over and over again, asking him for reservations, like, and he had to remind them he wasn't a business. And lo and behold, one of the people who attended his pop up ended up being it sounds like it was an investor, and that's how he ultimately opened Ramen Del Barrio.
Oh, so everybody, okay, I won't say everybody I know, but there are so many people talking about this place in my life right now. Like so many people are like, have you gone yet? Have you gone yet? Have you gone yet? And
Yes.
so now I just need to make it a priority because at this point, this story is crazy that he just started something like, this is no big deal. If you want to have some of my cooking, come to my parents' garage. It's not a big deal. And now
It was low key, yeah. But it's really amazing because he doesn't talk about how his roots started, but the fact that he grew all the way from that and became an actual restaurant. And I even told him, I was like, man, one day if you open a restaurant, you're going to win a James Beard. He didn't win, but he got a nomination. He's been on all these top lists, and
wow.
I think it's just a matter of time. But anyways, back on the topic. His ramen, specifically the carnita shoyu one, is absolutely delicious.
Oh man, now I'm just fascinated by this person. I'm fascinated. I have to dive more into this story, and I got to get to this. I got to have it now.
I think that people if they know the story behind a lot of these businesses, it makes the food so much more interesting and unique.
It does. It really does. Tell me about your favorite dish there.
So, if I'm being real, most of my favorite dishes are his cold dishes, like his cold noodles or his
Ooh.
ceviches that are more seasonal. He also makes an amazing ceviche tostada that rotates the different fishes he uses. But ultimately, if you're going for cozy vibes, he has that carnitas ramen that is really excellent. Not too heavy, not too salty, just really good flavor and topped with like tender carnitas.
Oh my God, I love carnitas.
I think start there. Maybe get like one of his octopus tacos, or get just any of his like small side dishes, because the ramen is good, but the side things are also very excellent.
Octopus tacos? Did I hear you right?
Yeah, so he does a Spanish octopus taco
Oh
it's
my
like grilled octopus, and that's probably the best price you're going to get on that kind of octopus in Austin.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That sounds so good. Okay. So do you have any more for me?
Okay, so last one I'm going to end on is actually another ramen spot. It's called Sazen Ramen. Have you heard of this place?
No.
Okay, so Sazen Ramen is located kind of the Airport Boulevard area in the Crescent Shopping Center. And they opened up during the pandemic. And originally they had to survive doing to go. And they do this chicken pork based ramen, but they call it Python because they're going for this creamy base. And it's one of the best bowls of ramen you're going to have in Austin.
Wait, now you're saying Python?
Yes. So it's called Python. That's kind of like the creamy, and then like
Oh, okay.
originally they were chicken based, because typically when you think Python ramen, you think like Tori Python in Japan, which is like chicken based creamy ramen, but theirs has
Okay.
pork in it, so they just go Python.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
And you're saying best ramen in Austin?
I would say for soup-based ramen,
Ah,
probably
okay.
the best one I prefer over a lot of the big dogs. And the reason why is because when you taste that broth, the flavor just like hits you. It's clear, it's creamy, it's just really good.
Oh my god, that you see now I have a list you have put me on.
Hmm.
Ramen is and like my partner and I both like are suckers for ramen. So I'm so excited for this. Now, aside from all of these like cozy dishes, as it gets colder, what are some like uniquely Austin flavors or places to go for fall?
So flavors wise, in terms of Austin, I think that we kind of do drift toward the more generic, like pumpkin flavors, apples, pears, cranberries, those sort of things. But my thing is, what I like doing when this time of the year rolls around is actually going to visit maybe your favorite bakery or your favorite ice cream shop because they have all kinds of flavors and like seasonal things that you can only get during that time of the year. I had a couple of places I wanted to give a shout out to that I feel like do a good job at that.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is this bakery called Comadre. Um, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're wildly popular. Also, James Beard nominated, I believe, also one of the winners. But the owner and bake shop and bakery lady, she's amazingly talented. And what I love is that she incorporates the different seasons and ingredients into her Mexican pastries and then like kind of makes her own twist on them and serves them to people in Austin.
Ooh, now I love Mexican pastries.
Mm-hmm.
So that I mean, I feel like you can't really. It's hard to live in Texas and not love Mexican pastries.
I agree with you, but I think that after going to Mexico City, it's hard to compare,
I
obviously.
mean, yeah.
But Comadre does a great job because she's very talented, and it's not your typical Mexican pastry. She makes like conchas, but she might make a matcha concha, and she might,
Ooh,
yeah. So she kind of mixes in more unique flavors, and it's definitely a more like artisan and like creative vibe I get from her.
what side of town is she on?
She's specifically in East Austin and she's connected to Nixa Taqueria. They're like right next to each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's one that I would check out. And I believe last season I went to visit her around fall and she was making these, I think they were squash croissants. And then she topped them with pepitas, which is like pumpkin seeds. And they were
Mm-hmm.
really delicious.
Ooh, I like that.
She's one of my favorite businesses to go to because she does focus on the seasons and what's like in season, and she also focuses on like a lot of her traditional Mexican recipes, and that's what I really appreciate about her.
So what are some other flavors that you are wanting to test out? Because you mentioned ice cream.
Yeah, so have you ever been to Mary Monarch Creamery?
No.
So this is a business owner. His name is Greg, and he owns a food truck in this food park called 5000 Burnett. And this guy does not take shortcuts. His whole goal is making like artisan ice cream. And when I say that, he is like crazy when it comes to seasonal flavors. And you kind of have to go there to kind of look at his menu because you never know what he's going to serve you. But I'm hoping he's going to do something cranberry or something like pumpkin spice. He
Oh.
had he had a pumpkin spice flavor. I'm blanking on the name, but the way he makes it, he'll like infuse different like rums, alcohol, wine sometimes, and
Ooh.
really add in a lot of flavor into the ice cream. But what's unique about his ice cream is it's not your typical, you go to a random ice cream shop or buy a pint from the store. This is like something that he does. He creates and rotates the flavors seasonally, and he only uses what he considers the best ingredients.
Now tell me the name again.
It's called Mary Monarch Creamery.
Oh my God. I've never even heard of that. That's crazy. I never thought about having ice cream in the fall, but that's actually a really great idea. Because now that you're mentioning like flavors,
Mm-hmm.
different flavors that could come up, having ice cream with like more savory, leaning towards more savory flavors sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, I think baked goods do a lot. do very well with highlighting those different flavors. Like obviously the things we think about in fall is like pumpkin, cranberries, and apple and cinnamon and things like that, things that comfort you, or ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And those are very well carried in like vehicles of sweet things.
Oh my gosh.
At least that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So that's what I have for fall flavors.
That's awesome. Amanda, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, bye. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. I want to take a quick moment and say happy birthday to my mom, Daisy May. You can find the links to Austin Food Adventures social media in our show notes. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.